So you guys are always telling me, why don't you shoot something with your own car? And I've been waiting for the right opportunity. Sorry, it's a little bit loud. I'm playing taxi driver with this guy over here.
Don't say taxi driver. I just picture you like a mohawk. You know, like have a De Niro impression.
Yeah. I can't do De Niro. Let me think. I probably could if I thought about it. My wife said,
"What? Take my mole, do De Niro."
Dude, no, I have one. Maybe he's our third brother.
You're talking to me.
Yeah, talking to me. So, my wife said, whatever you do, don't do Jerry.
Don't do Jerry.
Don't do Jerry. No, because you know this is not comedians in cars getting coffee. Okay, you got that?
Your wife was right.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta pass a car. Sorry.
Here we go.
So anyway,
Now,
this is the part.
That wasn't good gas mileage.
No.
What did you do?
No. This is the part of the Jersey Turnpike where you need to turn recirc on.
Oh, yeah.
When you see, you can't see it on the camera, but when you see that in the distance, turn recirc on and you don't have to breathe it.
Yeah, it's Elizabeth, New Jersey. Elizabeth should bathe a little more.
It's the ambiance. But it's not really what Jersey's like. I showed you guys what Jersey's really like where I am last week. This is just what you see when you fly in.
What were you driving last week?
Last week I was in a Mitsubishi,
right?
My electric car.
And did you like it?
One of the ugliest cars sold in America today. However, it doesn't use any gasoline.
They got charging stations now, right by like they have parking spots in Santa Monica, and you can't park in those spots with regular gasoline cars. You have to use
because you piss off the people with EVs.
Yeah, and there's two in the neighborhood, and one of them doesn't even live there; just wanders around. So
it's like the principal's special parking spot at the high school.
But here's the thing: you can get 40 miles a gallon in a Fiesta.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, what's the new Cafe? 50, 54, 55 in that vicinity?
Well, 54.5 isn't really 54.5.
But that's for the whole product line, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let's say Nissan, does the Leaf count towards Nissan's?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can make an electric car. That's the whole thing. So
that's why they're doing it.
That's why they're doing it. So that's why. But then how come remember Aston made the Signet? The smart car made the Signet?
The IQ.
Yeah.
It's like a dinghy. It's like a dinghy. You tie it up to your Aston.
It's like they took the IQ and they just put like sound dampening on it and leather. That's what they did with the friggin'. That's what the Cimarron was. It was a Chevy Cavalier with all that, with leather interior and sound dampening.
Can you pronounce it?
Cimarron?
Cimarron.
Yeah.
Can you pronounce it?
That's
terrible. Why it didn't sell. Nobody could pronounce it. Plus, it was a piece of shit.
It's terrible. Give me 3 big things for gas mileage.
Try not to be in a hurry. Whenever possible, you leave a little bit earlier. Be relaxed when you drive. It makes a big difference. Number 2, learn how to drive with a light foot. Know when you can let off on the pedal and use inertia. It's like riding a bicycle. When you can coast, and coast in gear when you can.
Those are the big 3 things.
Was there one more? The third one, you know, there's lots of little stuff. When you're on a highway, here's a good one. When you're on a highway, try to pick a lane and stick with it.
Right.
Every time you put pressure on the pedal, the more pressure, the longer the duration, the more gas you're sucking down. If you have to change lanes, learn how to change lanes without touching the pedal. So if you're one of those people that likes to move around, you're never going to hit the numbers. You're never going to hit the official numbers because you're pouring more gas into the system. That's it. In a nutshell, that's my whole deal.
Light foot?
Yeah, light foot.
Don't zigzag through traffic.
Yeah, avoid that if you can.
And know when to lift. I'm dead.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I can't
do that. I know, you can't drive that way.
I can't do any of it.
Now, like normally, I don't drive slow. I drive above the speed limit. Now, at 65 in Jersey, right now I'm doing 66 because, you know, we're having a conversation.
You're a rebel.
I'm a rebel. I'm a loner.
Right.
So things like ramps, I tend to go really fast on ramps.
Okay.
Just because that's a great place to save. You gotta have good tires. Tires have to be inflated properly. You need a car that handles well. You don't want to be driving an SUV because those things do that.
And what about aero?
So aerodynamics are so important, and people don't realize like the Scion FRS and the Subaru BRZ, they're extremely aerodynamic.
Right.
And that's why they get great mileage. What the you know, then you just slow down on the 56. See, this is when you use a lot of gas, like that.
You have to.
You have to. You can't. You got to get around those knuckleheads. But then once you get off, once you're there, you let off, and you can get great gas mileage at speed, as long as you. That's a nice Mercedes.
The CLS, yeah. It looks like an aspirin. Too.
An aspirin, an aspirin.
Yeah, it looks like an aspirin. It's like a take your pill.
So, favorite car?
Favorite car?
Yeah.
I always go, whenever I'm asked that question, I always go with a 57 Starfire Oldsmobile convertible, because that was the car my father built, and that was the car of legend in my family. So I'm still on the lookout to get one of those cars. Current favorite car that I drove this year, I took the Aventador around the track. That was cool. That was really nice.
Car you hate the most?
The car I hate. I hate the Dodge Caliber. Always did.
Yeah.
It would always reminded me like you know Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah.
I imagine that with the foot of the Rock'em Sock'em Robot. Hated that car.
Car that was least understood.
At least we actually did an episode called Classics, and I took a '93 Elante, which it's always front wheel drive. They were always going to have a front wheel drive, but they introduced the North Star system in that car, and I think they could have done they should have kept it going. They started getting the bugs worked out of it, yeah. And maybe you switch maybe make it a rear wheel drive car, and it could have been a lot of fun, that car.
Maybe it'll come back.
And
you never know.
Tanner had a Mercor XR4 Ti in an episode. That was on my list too. I always thought that car was fun. Rutt had a Subaru, the SVX. Never got that car. Yeah. Never got it.
The windows.
Never. We had the windows and yeah.
Weirdest car ever made.
The weirdest car ever made. Wow. Well, the Volkswagen thing would look weird, but it had character. I thought that was always fun.
Yeah.
There was one guy had the. We went to Lake George, New York, and a guy had one of those cars, and he like lifted it, so it was like weird, but it was cool.
A lifted thing.
A lifted thing. Yeah.
It's like
you got a lifted thing. You want to have some character, you got a lifted thing.
Nice.
Yeah. What's your weirdest car?
So like, I always admired the Pacer because it was ridiculous.
You know what I always wanted to do? I always wanted to cut the back of a Pacer off, put it in my garage, and fill it with water, and actually put the fish in
like
there.
A fish tank.
A fish tank.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That Pacer thing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Anything from AMC. So you know what? When Mitt Romney says like his dad was an auto guy and he knows autos and all that shit.
Yeah, I like it.
He ran AMC and look at the cars he made. I'm not saying anything bad about Mitt or anything, but
the Matador was an ugly
Matador.
car.
The Matador.
Was
what are we gonna name this? How about the Matador?
Yeah, that was an ugly car. I didn't like that. I always but a Javelin, the AMX Javelin.
Javelin was nice.
The Eagle.
Eagle was cool and it was way ahead of its time.
Yeah, the Eagle I liked.
Way ahead of its time.
Yeah, Gremlin was always a Gremlin.
I could dig a Gremlin. The V8 Gremlin, I could get one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You see them every once in a while for not that much on eBay.
Remember the Tornado?
My brother had one, yeah. It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
455 front wheel drive.
Yeah, but that front wheel drive just, with a big block.
Yeah.
That's torque steer that just makes you, we're going right.
Yes.
We're making a right turn.
Yeah, it's starboard.
Yes.
Definitely starboard. You got to bring ropes to tie that thing up.
Let me just take a look at it. All right, pal, I got to go.
This was cool, man.
Thank you so much.
We'll do it again. It'll be smoother next time.
Yeah, we'll figure it all out. We won't be as stressed getting out of the city with traffic and stuff.